Up, people? This is going to be very, very quick because it's the middle of the day. I am sermon prepping for Sunday. I'm looking forward to Sunday. But as I was doing my sermon prep and getting the message for this weekend, I noticed something that I was like, how come we're not talking about this as much as we should? Maybe not even talking about it. How come we're just not bringing this to people's attention as much as we should? So here it is, okay? So I'm in a series on community at our church. I'm calling it Let's Party. And so I'm getting the message together and I'm going through Logos. And I feel prompted to type in the word believers. And as I type in the word believers, like, believers is coming up like dozens of times, like hundreds of times, right? I mean, just in the book of Acts alone, like I lost count. It was just believers, 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 the 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 believers. So I'm like, it's a lot of believers in here, right? Okay, so it's just believers. Okay, great. It's fantastic. Now, I'm curious now, right? I'm scrolling through, have you ever had somebody text you something so long that you got to do that? And when you do that, it just keeps going, right? It's just keep going. That's how I was doing when I typed in believers, New Testament from Acts on, yaga, right? You do that, and that joint is just right? Believers, it's just going all the way down. So I'm like, cool, that's good. Believers is there. Duly noted. Believers are in the Bible. You believe in Jesus, you're a believer. Okay. So out of curiosity, I just decide to type in Christian. And when I typed in Christian, it only came up twice. And it never came up from Paul or Peter. It didn't come up from John, Jude, the writer of Hebrews. No, it only came up twice. And the two times that it was referenced, it wasn't, it was kind of like this kind of, hey, this is the first time that they started calling the believers Christians. This is the first time they were referred to as Christians. And then one time when Paul had to go to court, he was evangelizing to the people that had to pronounce a verdict over him. And he was like, hey, do you think you're going to convince me to be a Christian that easily? The end. That's the end of the word Christian in the New Testament from Matthew to Revelation. Okay. And I started to think to myself, man, we like Christianity is like a thing contextually, right? We say Christianity, and many of us that believe in Jesus call ourselves Christians. But I'm like, Christians seem to, you ever met a Christian and you had to figure out what kind of Christian that Christian was? I'm not talking about like denomination. I'm not talking about like, oh, you're a Baptist Christian or you are an Assemblies of God Christian. You're a non-denominational Christian. You are a Seventh-day Adventist Christian. I'm talking about basic tenets of the faith. Like you said, I'm a Christian, and once you heard that and you saw some of their fruit, you were like, are you a Christian? It just seems like people that call themselves Christians seemingly get to define what kind of Christian they get to be. But none of the people in this book, though, right, under the term believers, none of those people got to choose what kind of believer they were, right? I think Christians get to define what kind of Christians they want to be. I like God. I believe in the universe. I sprinkle a little Jesus on my life, but not too much because, you can try God, but don't try me, all that kind of stuff. But when you say you're a believer in Jesus, right? You are a believer in Jesus. Now we're superseding doctrine. Now we're superseding denomination. Now we're superseding your own personality. We are now superseding your own viewpoints on life. What you are saying when you are saying you are a believer in Jesus, you are saying that first of all, you believe that he is the Son of God, that God raised him from the dead, and that the life you live as a believer in Jesus is the life that he taught you to live through his scriptures. There's nobody that chose to publicly profess that they believed in Jesus that did not also become people that were compromised in their faith. Believers in Jesus were not compromised in their faith. They knew that by making the confession that I believe in Jesus, this could mean death. Say less, fam, I'm ready. This could mean jail time, prison time. Say less, fam, I'm ready. This could mean a beating. Say less, fam, I'm ready. I'm a believer in Jesus. I'm about that life. I don't care what you do. I'm ready for it. What's amazing to me is that belief brought boldness. By saying I'm a believer in Jesus, it brought some boldness with it, right? It seems like Christianity brings convenience with it. And I am not meeting too many Christians that like to be inconvenienced. So, this is just my quick rambling at 3:27 p.m. Central Standard Time. I don't know what you're doing with your life right now. But I very rarely refer to myself as a Christian. Just because I'm a wordsmith and, semantics means something to me and definitions mean something to me. And anybody that usually asks me about my faith, I always say, I believe in Jesus. I'm a follower of Jesus and his teachings. But it was just profound to look through my Bible today as I was studying for this message. And I just happened to type in believer, and believer comes up. It's probably hundreds of times between Matthew and Revelation. But Christian only comes up twice. And I guess all I'm saying to my peeps, whoever's watching right now, thank y'all for watching, wherever you're watching from. I guess all I want to say is maybe the reason why the word Christian is only in the New Testament twice is because that's what people from the world considered us. But nobody actually following Jesus referred to themselves as a Christian. They didn't want to be categorized by convenience. They wanted to be categorized by boldness. And so a part of that boldness was them saying, nah, fam, I'm not a Christian. Because that's too ambiguous. So let me break it down to you because I want to make sure you get this real clear from the onset. I am a believer in Jesus Christ. And whatever comes with that, I'm about that life. His teachings, I follow. Wherever he tells me to go, I go. Whatever he tells me to do, I do. Whatever he tells me to say, I say. Unapologetically and without compromise. Because I am not a convenient Christian. I am a bold believer in Jesus Christ. Yo, didn't that feel good? You just hearing it? I'm getting so hyped right now. Like, I'm getting hyped right now. Like, listen, just me saying that, just feeling that. I felt that right there. Yo, I'm a bold believer in Jesus. Put that in the chat, right? Put that down. I'm a bold believer in Jesus. I am not a convenient Christian. I do not subscribe monthly to convenient Christianity. I know that my bold belief in Jesus may find me ostracized, rejected, ridiculed, talked about, lied on, mistreated, all the things, right? Depending on what part of the country I'm in, what part of the world I'm in. This country, it's a cakewalk compared to what's going on in Afghanistan right now. Anybody that's a Christian in America, just hush. Just shut up. You're not going through nothing. Stop yourself. Stop lying to yourself. You are not being persecuted by nothing. Your mask is not persecution. Them taking prayer out of schools is not persecution. Okay? You're not being persecuted. You have never seen persecution. If you are born and raised in America and call yourself a believer in Jesus Christ, you have not been persecuted. You've been inconvenienced. That's what you've been. You've been inconvenienced. Okay? Until you go to the other side of the world and deal with some people that are having their hands hammered for passing out Bibles, their noses cut off, their families raped, their churches burned to the ground because they are bold believers in Jesus. I'm talking about these people will have their churches burned down and tell them, hey, we'll stop all of this if you just renounce Jesus. And they looking at them like, bro, who are you talking to? You burned down my church. You killed my family. You raped my wives and daughters. And what you think I'm about to? What you think I'm about to? What you think was about to happen? Y'all ain't been through nothing. Stop. Just stop playing. Stop lying. Stop. Why you always lying? Ooh, oh my God. Stop Christian lying. Okay. Yo, I just felt like, I hope this encouraged somebody. I really hope it did. Because, yo, we are bold believers. That's what's in this book. And you know me, I'm a ride or die with this Bible. Y'all, I think y'all know that already though, right? Y'all, I'm ride or die with this Bible. When I preach the word of God, I start here, I stay here, I end here. Anything that I'm going to say outside of here, I'm going to bring into here. Okay. Cause this is my authority. This is what I stand on. I have a biblical worldview. And, let me repeat for those of y'all that might have just popped on. The word Christian is only in the Bible twice. I only rock with 2 versions of the Bible. But I looked in all the other ones as well. NLT, that's the one I preached from on the weekend. KJV, that's what I grew up on. NKJV, ESV. The word Christian is only in the Bible 2 times. Once in Acts and once in 1 Peter. And I think that was it. Once in Acts and once in 1 Peter. I think it was 1 Peter. The word believer, that's our word. That's when you give your life to Jesus, you are a believer in Jesus Christ. You confess with your mouth and believe in your heart that Jesus Christ is Lord and that God raised him from the dead. You rock out as a believer. And as a believer, we get to be bold. But these Christians, especially over here in the West, all Christianity has ever boiled down to is convenience. and complaining and categorization. Hey, come on with the alliteration, all these C's. Let's go. So listen, y'all. Be a bold believer. Okay. We're not checking for convenient Christianity. That's not what I signed up for. I did not sign up for that. I know good and well if the world gets darker, I may go to jail for preaching. And all this I got can go away right now. I'm not giving up anything for my relationship with Jesus. So the house can go away. All the money in my bank account can go away. Y'all remember that song? You got to be a certain age, but if y'all remember Jodeci, you remember that? Take my money, my house and my cars, right? I'm on that. Okay, that's where I am. Not over no female. Okay, as much as I love Juliet, there she is peeking right there. Y'all see her right there? Where's she at? Creeping on me. I see you, Jew. Don't play. I see you looking down. I'm about this life, and I hope you are too. And so as you head into the weekend as a bold believer. If for any reason, let me just encourage you real quick. If for any reason, if you have been a little bit hesitant to share your faith or to just be a believer in Jesus Christ and stand on his word, and if people looking at you sideways and you a cornball and you too deep and it don't take all that and all that kind of stuff, you don't have to argue with these people. You don't have to fight with these people. Just be the bold believer he has called you to be. And I'm telling you, if you live your life with that mentality, you will separate yourself from the convenience of Christianity that is seeming to permeate our society, because Christianity gets to be a subculture, right? I believe in God, right? How many people that we know that just believe in God? How many secular artists you know pray before they perform some of the most vile, crude, obscene, violent lyrics that you've ever heard? How many, Lord, we thank you for giving us the ability to go out here and produce this toxic waste that we about to put in these people's ears. We just pray, Lord Jesus, that when we go out here and perform WAP, that you would just be glorified. They praying before the performance before they do WAP. Oh my gosh. Right. And then they get the award. You know, they won most streams. WAP wins. And Cardi B and Meg up there. I want to thank God. I want to thank God. Nah. Convenient Christianity. I'm talking to some bold believers. That's why you on right now. All 100 of y'all. Y'all right here. 3:38 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay. 4:38 Eastern Standard Time. Okay. 1:38 Pacific Standard Time. Y'all right here. Y'all some bold believers. That's why you're still here. That's why you here. You know what I'm talking about. So anyway, that was it. The word Christian is only in the Bible twice. Why would you keep calling yourself something that you don't even have language for? And Paul didn't call himself that, and Peter didn't call himself that. Timothy didn't call himself that. None of these people refer to themselves as Christians. They refer to themselves as believers. We are believers in Jesus. Nobody's going to get us confused with just loving God, right? God could be anything. God's the universe. God is the wind. I feel the wind. When I wake up in the morning and I go for my walk and I walk my poodle and the breeze hits my neck, I could just, that's when I know God. I just felt him rustling through the leaves. Stop yourself. Okay. So, we both believers. And we got Bible verses for that. Verses upon verses upon verses upon verses upon verses. Okay, we ready. We ready to be who God called us to be and do what he called us to do the way he called us to do it. And as both believers in Jesus Christ, we will upset the world with the message, love, and hope of Jesus Christ. Yo, I love y'all very much. I'm signing off. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. If you're a part of Embassy City, I hope to see you on Sunday, either live or virtually. Holla back. If Embassy City is your vitamin E church, I expect you to be on with us live, virtually, or on demand whenever you have time to get into the message. But I love you guys so much. And go upset the world for Jesus. Be a bold believer. I'll talk to you later. Peace.